Okay, any additional check-ins for the lonely guys?
W1FBA, good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Pete, up in Concord, New Hampshire. And we got you on the list. You're number 24. Oh, a big group. What time is it? Oh, it's quarter of, so we're getting up there. All right, Shane, I'll give it out to you if you're still listening. You got anything for the soapbox? KBA SMU AJ1G.
Heard you turn it over to me. Right again, I can't hear nobody. I got people in upper sideband, lower sideband. That is getting way too much. So, I'll stick around and try to listen. I even put on WebSDR or WebSDR. Oh, I'm not awake yet. WebSDR and kind of the same thing. So. Anyway, yeah, I won't hold you here for anything. I don't want to step on anybody or talking or stepping on me, so I appreciate you letting me in there, but I'll just go into listening mode. We say Merry Christmas to everybody, and hopefully when it comes around to me during the action, then I'll be able to hear maybe. Usually the sidebanders are out by then, but then the band's starting to shorten up, so. Okay, no, I don't know who to send it over to. Like I said, I can't hear good enough, so I'll send it back over to you, Chris. Yeah, other than that, I'll save my 7-3 for this round, and hopefully I can get back in there, but this is KBA SMU, Ohio. Thanks.
Yeah, okay, Shane. KBA SMU AJ1G. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you. I'll keep you on the list. Steve will probably, I'll recommend he puts you up at the top. Propagation probably best for you. It's getting quite light here now. So Merry Christmas to you out there in Ohio. Down to Jim, WA1UQM. Your turn on the soapbox, Jim.
Yeah, good morning, Chris. I'd keep it short. There's several stations I want to check in, but very good morning and Merry Christmas to one and all. And thanks for doing the pre-net. And we'll see you at the start of the net. Thanks for letting me in. WA1UQM. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, okay, Jim. Yeah, by the way, that Popover Cafe in Mystic, I guess it's the sister or the one that you have up in your town, is open now. Tried to go to it one day a couple weeks ago, but it was a Tuesday, and I guess they're closed on Monday and Tuesday. So we haven't tried it yet, but I heard it's very good. All right, any additional check-ins for the lonely guys? Okay, we got 24 check-ins. A1IWQ, go ahead. Your turn on the soapbox.
All right, Chris, we'll keep it short. There's a lot of folks in here. Say good morning, everyone. It's WA1IWQ in Brunswick. Hopefully this trash is sounding all right. And just can't believe it is almost Christmas. I'm still looking for June. I don't know. It just seemed like putting the boat in the water, and now here we are at the end of the year. Go figure. Anyways, back she comes, Chris, and just keep this number moving.
Yeah, okay, well, the days are getting longer. Every day gets a little brighter, and the sunset is a little later. I don't think we've hit the bottom on the sunrise yet, on the earliest sunrise, but that'll, I think, maybe a couple days after Christmas. But, even now when I was, putting my Christmas lights out, there's, a lot of the trees in the yards have their buds out. We got these stellar magnolias and things like that. They look like pussy willow buds, kind of hairy gray little things. They're all out. And we even still have some rhodies that are blooming this time of year. We got some PJM rhodies that are making white flowers now. So it's not totally winter. And no snow. I mean, this is kind of unusual, even up in Canada. I was talking to some of my friends up in Quebec down the band yesterday, and they still have a green Christmas going up there. So it's going to be a green Christmas, I think, in most of New England. KB1IW, your turn on the soapbox.
Good morning, Chris, and the rest of the group. Yeah, let's just try to warm things up here.
Is he still in there?
Yeah, I think he had an unscheduled end of transmission.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, let's move down to Glenn. N1, or up to Glenn, N1YTN. Yeah, I just heard, I got a Christmas card from one of my buddies from down here, moved up to Scarborough, Maine. That was kind of nice. Is that anywhere near you, Glenn?
Yeah, well, I guess they're following. Yeah, Chris, Scarborough is just south of Portland, about 5-10 miles.
Yeah, okay, very good. Yeah, I got to look his house up. I think he moved since the last time. It looks like he has a new address. All right, he's working for some company that's trying to work with green algae, and you do something with green algae, and it sucks CO2 out of seawater. I don't know, some sort of blue technology, oceanographic technology business up there. All right, let's see, Jeff, WA2RAS, what are you on down there? And I'm not talking about medications, but what sort of radio? It's not super strong, but I did hear you.
Well, that's positive. It's WA2RAS. It's a work in progress. Just a second here. Let's see. All right. This is just a drink TV. Looking at the meter here, it's running barefoot. I've never used it on AM before. In fact, I didn't even know it had AM. I don't know. I don't know if this is. It probably sounds terrible. You might let me know. The receiver is quite excellent on this thing, it's, I hope they're going to use your topic suggestion. That was a good one. Yeah, I have a story about that. But anyway, let me know how bad this is, and if it's too disgusting, I'll just fade out here. But anyway, thanks for taking over the pre-net. You're doing a really good job, Chris. AJ1G. And the pre-net, this is WA2RAS, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely you, but did you say TR3, or I thought you said 2B, but that's a receiver. Is that a TR3 transceiver?
No. No, this is the classic Drake TR7, the TR7, which was way ahead of its time, I think, back in the 1970s. Chris, the TR7. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, TR7, yeah. Yeah, much nicer radio than the TR7 Triumph car. That was ugly. Well, you don't sound ugly. It just don't sound very strong. So if you can, hose it into a linear or something, that would help. Or otherwise, bring up something a little more power. But you are not super strong. Let's see if. Well, it's 5 minutes of, and let's see if our fearless leader. I guess he. I don't know, probably doesn't, I shouldn't use the word His Eminence. Usually you reserve that for the Pope. So let's see if our fearless leader is in the house here. W1QIX, AJ1G. Conspicuous in his absence.
W1UJR is here.
Yeah.
pickleball game last night sometime.
A pickleball game? Well, I think that's probably like every night.
W1UJR.
Now, did he have any antenna damage from the storm?
Yeah, Chris, Bruce is trying to check in, W1UJR.
Okay, well, I'll put him, I'm not hearing him, but I will put him on the list. And I guess his transmitter's working because you're there. So, I don't know where Steve is right now. He's unexpectedly detained somewhere.
N1 WRN checking in.
Was it Whiskey Romeo November?
Yes, I'm going to be checking in, and I'm one and done. I just want to check in for the number. This is N1 WRN, Doug in Reading, Mass. Good morning.
Okay, N1WRN. Okay, I'll just put you as a side note here, and Merry Christmas, Doug in Reading. Not a bad signal, AJ1G.
AJ1G, this is Doug. Good. Merry Christmas to you as well. I'm just getting used to the AM band, AM mode. So thank you. Merry Christmas. N1 WRN, back to net.
Yeah, okay. Are you a lonely guy already?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, okay. I'll just put you on the side. I won't put you in the count. But, yeah, Merry Christmas to you, and maybe you'll be back here next week. Although next week, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
It's our annual performance review, where Steve, goes down our work accomplishments in terms of how did we do with our resolutions, because he keeps them all, and then you have to own up to what you did or didn't do. It's always painful. I might miss that one. Anyhow, any additional check-ins for the lonely guys?
WA1 Queen Item X-ray. I've been having technical difficulties.
Okay, WA1QIX AJ1G. All right, are you ready for the list?
Yep. Just check it after every 10 check-ins or something like that.
All right, the checksum should be 25 here on this list. All right, away we go. AJ1G. KC2CKO, WA1QZX, KE1MI, Kilowatt 2 Whiskey, N1GIC, KK1RZ, NE1S, W1GTX, K1WXI. Break.
Yep, stand by here. Let me just get that last one. Okay, yep, I got 10 people, so I think we're good to go.
All right, continuing on. N1VIV, N1TZU, KB8SMU. Shane, you might want to move him up with propagation being what it is. WA1UQM, WA1IWQ, KB1IAW, N1YTN. WA2RAS, KA1 Bravo Sierra Zulu, KC2FXE. Break.
Okay, after KB1IAW, I didn't get anything.
N1YTN, WA1RAS, KA1 Bravo Sierra Zulu, Brian, KC2FXE. Break.
Okay, so after K1WXY, who was number 10, I have N1VIV, N1TZU, KB8SMU, WA1UQM, WA1IWQ, KB1IAW, N1WRN, and N1YTN. So that's 18. Is that right so far?
I don't know where you got N1WRN. My list goes from WA1UQM, WA1IWQ, KB1IAW, N1YTN, and then Jeff, WA2RAS, WA2 Romeo Alpha Sierra, KA1 Bravo Sierra Zulu, and KC2 FXE, that's 20.
Okay, I see the screw up here. Let's see. Let's see. All right, so after N1YTN is WA2RAS, is that correct?
Correct.
And who's after WA2RAS?
Kilo Alpha 1 Bravo Sierra Zulu and KC2 FXE, and that's through the 20th.
Okay, I think we're good. Yep. I got WA2RAS, K1BSZ, and KC2FXE.
Yep, and there's 5 more. WA2WNY, Rich, KB1MCV, K1ZRF, W1FEA, W1UJR, and that brings you to 25. And N1WRN was a hit and run. He just stopped by to say hello, so I'm not going to give you his call for the list.
W2TRH as well.
Gotcha. All right, that's very good, Chris. Thank you very much. Sorry about the confusion. I'm using my laptop here because the main computer, when I key up, I have no audio. I actually tried to key up a bunch of times, and I'm looking at the mod monitor and saying, I have no audio, but I can key up, which actually is impossible. So I don't exactly know why that was working. So thank you very much, Chris. Great job on the pre-net, as usual. We got a lot of folks here on the list, so this is all good stuff here. So anyway, this is our lonely guys. So let's start the net. A little late. The boys in Greenwich, England, are going to have to wait until next week to reset their clocks because we're about 2 minutes beyond schedule due to my problems at this end. Calling the lonely guys. I got another speaker running. Let me turn that down so I don't hear myself. Yeah. The other computer there. Calling the lonely guys. The Lonely Guys Amplitude Modulation Network meets every Saturday at 8 a.m. local Eastern Time, except during the summer when we do take a sabbatical because the conditions are bad and people are outside doing stuff. The purpose of the net is fun and fellowship, support, and information, and we do all of that stuff really well. The net, of course, was founded by W1ZZZ back in the year 2000. And the net has a topic each week, and this topic was suggested by multiple people on the net, so I figured we'd go with it. And I think we actually have had it, but it's been a long time. We've used this topic before, but it has been quite a while, so I figure we'll bring it back because so many people did ask about it. So the topic is, since we're here in Christmas or Hanukkah, we're still all celebrating it in the same season. Have you ever asked for, have you ever given, or have you ever received a radio-related Christmas or Hanukkah gift? So that's going to be interesting because, you know, we've been in ham radio a really long time, most of us anyway, and probably have either received or given, or both, a radio-related gift. So that's the topic today, and of course I want to personally wish everybody a wonderful Christmas, if that's what you celebrate, or I hope you had a good Hanukkah. I think Hanukkah is over. I think it was earlier this year. I didn't follow it exactly, but I do have a number of Jewish friends who talked about it, and I think it is over. So either way, it's a great season, it's a great time of the year, and that's why we celebrate. So that's a good thing. So, again, I want to thank Chris. I've been listening to the pre-net for the whole pre-net. I've been working on some stuff with my computer, and I did it so well that I managed to discombobulate manipulate the audio subsystem within the computer. I was making software changes that I can key up the transmitter with the USB D104, but I have no audio, which is impossible because the USB D104 is configured to use Vox. So it's a very interesting conundrum. So no, I didn't get killed playing pickleball last night until 9:30, but it was a lot of fun. So somebody said, well, he was playing pickleball, maybe he died or something like that. Anyway, so let's go right to Chris, and then as per your suggestion there, Chris will scoot right out to Ohio and grab Shane, and then come right back up here to the Northeast and pick up Paul, CKO, and Dan in Chelmsford. So AJ1G, this is WA1QIX and the Lonely Guys.
Okay, thank you very much, Steve. WA1QIX and the Lonely Guys, AJ1G, Chris in Stonington, Connecticut. Thanks and for having that topic. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And Merry Christmas to everybody on the net. Happy Hanukkah, happy post-Hanukkah to all of our Jewish members here. And hope everyone has a good Christmas, and we'll see you all just prior to New Year's, and then the dreaded performance review session of the Lonely Guys, at least in my case. I might miss that one, I don't know. We'll have to see, but I'll probably get quizzed when I do show up again. Okay, very good. Yeah, on the subject of Ohio, our friend Fred K8IG has not been around. In case people have been wondering, his wife has had some medical issues. I think they're being resolved, but I guess Fred hasn't had an opportunity to get back on the net. And Fred, if you're listening, thoughts and prayers with you and Mary out there. All right, that's. I think I over the years there's been a lot of nice Christmas presents I've gotten, and some I've given. It's really, I think it's a nice warm topic for Christmas. I think the first one I ever got was a Cub Scout crystal radio set with a real crystal, a Galena crystal and a cat whisker. Came in a little box with the Cub Scout colors, and the big close wound coil on a cardboard tube with a slider and a little high impedance headphone. And I remember building that. That was very early on, maybe 8, 9 years old. It must have been in Cub Scouts when I got it, so it was probably about 9. And then later on, when interest in radio got sparked, the E.H. Scott SLRM, which I'm listening on right now, that was kind of an early Christmas present for my grandfather in 1964. And then the Heath kit, a lot of guys remember, and mine was blue, but I think some of them were tan. The Heath kit electronic circuit breadboard, where you can make up all sorts of different circuits, little AM wireless microphone and a little receiver, and you can start off with just little switches and lights and things like that. Got one of those, and then probably 1965. Yeah, definitely Christmas 65, a Heath Q multiplier in HD11, my first real kit I ever built to go with the E.H. Scott, which was brought as a barn in most cases, but that thing really helped. It also helped the BFO. You could make that HD11 regenerate and make a very nice CW note with it. And fast forwarding to adulthood, one year I got this big, heavy box. It was very small, relatively small square box. It's heavy as hell from Diane. I opened it up and it was this little stoneware crock full of change, quarters mostly. And I guess for the year or so, she was just saving change for me and said, okay, this is your Christmas present. It was sort of like an early money card. You can do whatever you want, but buy something with a radio. And I turned that into a GRC9. My GRC9 set from Fair Radio, the one big purchase I ever made out of Fair Radio. And then more recently, it started off as maybe it wasn't really Christmas. I think it was Father's Day and then birthday, an SDR. My son gave me a little SDR dongle, which only started tuning at 25 megahertz and up, and then for my birthday I got the up converter that went with it. And I gave my son Dave an SX25 the year he came home from Kuwait when he was on deployment in 2003. He made it home. He did get home for that Christmas, and I gave him an SX25 I had bought, and he still has that. And we always listen to that up at his place when we go up there. He puts, one of the local stations on AM that does Christmas carols all year. And let's see. So that's pretty much it. But it's a really good time to give presents. In fact, I got one here for Bob when I go up to see son Dave on Christmas. Bob, WB1GCM over in Ashford, next town over, wants to get on 630 meters, and I have a ART-13 low-frequency oscillator for him that I promised I'd bring up. So we'll be seeing Bob probably, if not on Christmas, sometime over the holidays. So there we go. Everyone have a great Christmas. Steve, thanks for running the net. Hope you get your issue with the computer resolved. WA1QIX and the Lonely Guys, AJ1G.
Yeah, AJ1G, WA1QIX, and the Lonely Guys. Very interesting there, Chris. Yeah, you had some experience with that sort of thing. And, yeah, I should be able to resolve the software issue on the computer. If I can't, I'm in trouble. Yikes. So, very good. Well, thanks again so much for the pre-net. And if I don't happen to talk to you before Christmas, have a Merry Christmas there, you and the whole family, and we'll look for you next week, if not before, hopefully before. All right, well, I am going to do what I said I'm going to do. I'm going to go out and grab Shane out there in Ohio, and then we'll scoot right back up here to the Northeast. So KB8 SMU, go ahead, Shane. Oh, okay, Shane, very good. I don't exactly know what that gift is, the gold, but I've never seen one, let's put it that way, but I've probably seen pictures, but it sounds pretty cool, and you still have it after all these years, which is really really great. Anyway, you have a great Christmas out there, Shane, and thanks very much for getting in here and being part of the net. And I think you may have more lower sideband than upper sideband. I tried to. There's some local to you people that deliberately interfere with the Lonely Guys every Saturday, operating on upper sideband. And I eliminated them, but the modulation was quite a bit less. If I brought in only the lower sideband, there was more modulation, but I had to deal with the interference. Just something to check out. I could be wrong, but that's what it appeared to be. Anyway, good to hear you again, Shane. Thanks for getting in here, and that sounds like a cool gift. All right, right over to Paul there, and then Dan QZX, and then Greg up there in Braintree, Vermont. So KC2CKO, go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, good morning, W1QIX and all the guys. KC2CKO. I don't think specifically we ever got any radio gear for the holidays, but my father was a great one to support our hobbies and interests, and anytime we would find something for sale or whatever in the newspaper, we would definitely get a new piece of equipment to play with, so we definitely supported in that, which actually kept us off the streets, down the basements, but the neighbors hated us for the TVI that was generated. Oh my goodness, yes. We got many hate phone calls and threats about that one. But everybody have a great time. It's always great to get together with the family and friends and have a good time. And you don't need any holiday to do it. Or anytime you can get together with family and friends, do it. KC2CKO, over.
KC2CKO, WA1QIX, and the Lonely Guys. Very, very good there, Paul. Oh, brother. And yes, you're right. It's the best. The best thing is getting together with people and all that. So couldn't agree more. Well, thanks very much for getting in here and being part of the net. And you and your wife and your family have just a wonderful, blessed Christmas. And we'll be talking to you hopefully next week, if not before there, Paul. Thanks very much for getting in here and being part of the net. All right, right over to Dan, WA1QZX, WA1QIX, and the Lonely Guys.
Yeah, WA1QIX. This is WA1 Quebec Zulu X-Ray. Good morning, Steve. And Merry Christmas. And Happy Hanukkah. It was a bit chilly here this morning. I woke up to 16 degrees. But it's warming up. We're up to 21. And the temperature's rising. Beautiful day here, nice and sunny. Another sunny day after that crazy rain we had last week. So it's looking good for today. On the topic, I got a HW16, a Heathkit HW16 for Christmas. That was my first kit, my first Heathkit that I built, and that was really great. My dad supported our hobbies. He supported all the kids with their hobbies, and yeah, that was really great. HW16, a CW only rig. I think it was like 20 watts. 20 watts, and that was a nice rig. So, let me see. Well, I think that's about it. I hope everybody has a great holiday and enjoys the celebration, and also enjoying gatherings with families and friends, and all of that. So back to you, Steve. WA1QIX. This is WA1QZX in Chelmsford.
Check-in.
Yeah, who's the check-in?
KW1KW.
Check-in here is N3RIK.
Yeah, who was checking in?
Kilowatt whiskey. 1 kilowatt whiskey.
Okay, we got you there, Brutus. Yeah, very good, Dan. WA1QZX, WA1QIX. I'm using the other computer. I think I found an anomaly. If I don't use Vox, it works, which means it's a software bug. Within my software, I did make some changes recently. Yeah, very interesting. I didn't know what that transmitter was when you were saying, oh, I got a HW, whatever it was. But then you went to explain that it was a CW transmitter. So very good, very good. Well, good to hear you, Dan, and have a wonderful Christmas there. And you're back up here north, so I know you'll be in Florida eventually, so thanks for being part of the net today. All right, let's see, right over to Greg, and then Dean, K2WW, and then Chet, N1GIC. So KE1MI, WA1QIX, and the Lonely Guys.
Yeah, okay, Steve, WA1QIX and the Lonely Guys, KE1MI. Good morning, everybody. High top Old Braintree Hill here in central Vermont, and I was in the teens last I looked, and overcast. We lost all our snow in that heavy rain and beat the crap out of the road I live on. They've been up pouring gravel up and down this road. There's some real mud holes. What a disaster. Anyway, I think the only thing I can recall in the recent past is my late uncle gave me a ARRL antenna handbook for Christmas. This is going back into the little bit in the 90s, because he's been gone for a couple of years now. And because he always knew I liked experimenting with different antennas, so he thought that I needed to have the ARRL antenna handbook. So that's about the only gift I've ever gotten radio-related wise at Christmas. I've never given any. I don't know, I never had any other hams in the family or anything like that, or anybody with any radio interest. My other interest is model railroading, as some of you know, so I'm into trains, and Chris was talking earlier about trains, electric trains going around the trees and all that stuff. There's trains all over this house in various scales. So I get to play with trains all the time. Anyway, everybody have a Merry, Merry Christmas. And we'll be talking to you probably next week. And Happy Hanukkah. Yes, Hanukkah should be done for those that celebrate that. So 7-3 all. Have a great one. Steve, thanks for picking it up. WA1QIX and Lonely Guys, KE1MI. Over.
Yeah, KE1MI, WA1QIX, and the Lonely Guys. Let me turn this down again. Hang on. That's not a bad... I need a way to... I can add that to the software. That's a pretty cool thing for somebody to get. Anyway, good to hear you. Yes, from your uncle there, and have a nice Christmas up there in Vermont, Greg. It was very cold this morning. It was 12 degrees here, so it's quite a chilly morning in central New Hampshire. All right, let's see. Right over to Dean there in Tupper Lake, K2WW, WA1QIX, and the Lonely Guys.
Good morning, Steve, and all the Lonely Guys. Dean, K2WW from Upper Tupper Lake, eastern Upper Tupper Lake, I might add. It's a beautiful morning here. I'll tell you what, it's 19 degrees, but it's gone. It's just it's a stellar morning. I see the sun coming coming up over the trees in the back of the shack. Absolutely fantastic. Good morning to be alive. Anyhow, I missed the question, but I kind of picked it up over the last two transmissions. As far as getting ham equipment, got an interesting story about that. I was licensed at 12 years old in 7th grade, and my Elmer, he was, oh my God, he was crazy. Crazier than I am, and I'm crazy. But he went to my dad. My dad owned a little service station garage, and it was a pretty decent business. And he went over and he goes, "Hey, why don't you buy that kid, some ham gear?" And my father must have looked at him like he was from outer space. And the following summer after I was licensed, I worked all summer and I bought myself a 10-tech Argonaut 509. So I got introduced to the ham world with 5 watts. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if I would suggest that today, but I learned an awful lot working QRP in my younger, in my early days. As a novice, and then of course as a general and on sideband, 5 watts is pretty tough going. But hey, I worked DXCC QRP on it, and I didn't get to, I didn't pursue the cars, but I had a hunting country, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, it blows my mind today with it's just so different getting into this hobby as opposed to what it was when we got into it. That, by the way, that was 1977, 78, whatever. At 78, I got the Argonaut. 77, I got my license. But anyhow, it's all good. Everything's it's all moving up. Onward, soldiers. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever all those other things are. I mean, I'm a Merry Christmas guy, but a happy holidays to everybody, and I hope everybody has a safe and happy holiday, and I hope they have a safe and happy day every day. Steve, great hearing you strapping. WA1QIS, K2WW.
Yeah, very good, Dean. K2WW, WA1QIX, and the Lonely Guys. Well, that's great, and great to have you in here as part of the net. It's been a little while since you were able to check in, and you have a great signal over here as well. Yeah, band conditions are quite favorable. So nice to have good conditions. Well, you have a wonderful Christmas there, Dean, and we'll look for you possibly next week. But if not, hopefully soon. And thanks for being part of the net. All right, let's stop and have a quick call up here. Last station I had checked in was KW1KW. So do we have more check-ins for the Lonely Guys? This is WA1QIX.
KD1SH. Can't stick around, just in and out. Just wanted to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone on the Lonely Guys Net 73 KD1SH.
Well, thank you, Bill. KD1SH checking in. Was there anybody else? Bruce, was that you, N3RIK? Your signal is a little weaker than usual. Using the same transmitter or something's different? Okay, no problem. All right. RIK, okay. N3RIK, I got you. Very good, Bruce. And KD1SH, just in and out. And thanks, Bill, for saying Merry Christmas to us. And same to you. Merry Christmas to you and your wife over there in Connecticut. Were there other stations checking into the Lonely Guys?
Larry.
No, nothing heard. Go ahead. Let's see. Let's grab N1GIC Chet, and then Rick over there on the other side of the lake, and Larry up there in Ossipee. So 2 real locals. Local to me, that's for sure. N1GIC. Go ahead, Chet.
EKG.
We got you.
Okay, N1GIC, good morning. Happy holidays to everyone. And I hope it goes well. Wow. Oh yeah, ooh, gotta back off here. My SWR is high today. The antenna has changed something. Oh boy. Anyway, only as a kid did I receive anything, books or key, Morse code key for a transmitter that I had built. I don't know if I bought the chassis. I think I did. So I got a chassis, and then I, scrounged some tube sockets from here and there, and put things together, built myself a transmitter, bought a receiver. Anyway, just parts. Even earlier than that, it was a Radio Shack experimental kit, electronic experimenters kit. I guess you could do several things. It was teaching you about electricity, that sort of thing. What a resistor is, how a switch works, and all that. And, let's see, did I get a crystal radio? No, I had to buy that. So, anyway, not much. And that's about that. I'll keep it short. We got a lot of people in mind. Happy holidays to you all. And may it be a prosperous and happy, healthy 2024 and beyond. N1GIC. Back to WA1QIX, one fine net controller at Mirror Lake, New Hampshire.
Yeah, very good. Very good, Chet. N1GIC, WA1QIX, and the Lonely Guys. Well, that's pretty cool. You receive some stuff. And depends on the age. Yeah, to some degree. I guess, some degree. Surprised you didn't get a crystal set. Maybe you did and you just don't remember. Seemed like we all got those at one time or another, or many people did. Anyway, good to hear you, Chet. Merry Christmas to you and your wife. And thanks very much for being in here and being part of the Lonely Guys this morning. All right, let's see about Rick over there in Guilford. KK1RZ. Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, W1QIX, KK1RZ. Just wondering if you can comment on the audio. I cut back some of the compression here.
Yep, it's reasonable communications quality audio.
Okay, good enough. It's not the Flex, but a Yaesu FT710 with an outboard processor. So, yeah, I'm only going to, well, first of all, it's 14 degrees in Guilford this morning. The roads were not washed out in this area, but they were in certainly other places. Gunstock really completely replaced all the lost snow, so they're doing pretty good. In terms of Christmas presents, I'm only going to deal with this year's Christmas. I own a commercial radio tower company, and the company decided that it was time to buy me a true desktop spectrum analyzer, not a Rigol or a tiny SA, but a real one. And so I'm checking that out currently. So Merry Christmas to me, I guess. And then Peg, K1PEG, doesn't know it yet. She's down in South Carolina with her son. If I can say this, but she's receiving a brand new in the box Yaesu FTM 200, the dual band FM and C4 FM radio. So there's much more C4 FM activity up here in central New Hampshire than I was aware of. How many years ago it was nothing, and that's not the case anymore. So anyway, So it'll be a pretty good Christmas. Back to you, WA1QIX, KK1RZ.
WA1IIE.
Oh, there's another country heard from. 1IIE. Chuck, just for the heck of it, let me look and see how long it's been since you've checked in here to the net. 2014. Holy moly, you may take the prize. Yeah, we got you. Yeah, very good, Rick. KK1RZ, WA1QIX, and the Lonely Guys. That's excellent there. You're getting pegged that radio. You never know, though. She could be listening on a web SDR or something like that, or maybe she doesn't know about those. Anyway, good to hear you. And thanks for being part of the net, and Merry Christmas to you and Peg over there. That's wonderful, and good to hear you, and glad you got in here this morning. Hopefully we'll talk before New Year's, but maybe not. So we'll have to see. All right, let's see. Right over to Larry, NE1S, not anyone-S, just anyone-S, in the next town in Ossipee, New Hampshire. And then we'll grab Paul there in Whitman and Stess up there in Milford, Maine. NE1S, go ahead, Larry.
WA1QIX and the Lonely Guys, NE1S. Well, good morning, everybody. Good signals this morning from just about everyone. Nice, cool, brisk, invigorating morning here in Ossipee, New Hampshire. Okay, well, the first thing that comes to mind regarding the question of the day is, I think when I was about 8 years old, I think it was when I was 8, I found a couple very welcome boxes under the Christmas tree on Christmas morning. One of them was the Heathkit Basic Transistors Kit, where you went through and built a bunch of things with transistors, and it culminated in a permanent unit, which was a simple intercom, just a two-stage audio amplifier with a speaker for a microphone and another speaker for to use as a speaker, and a switch that would swap the two speakers so that you could communicate in two directions. But the remote was just a speaker, and the listen talk switch was on the main unit. And it was powered by, I think, 4 C cells. And I still have that. I've held on to it for nostalgia and sentimental reasons. And when I built the final unit, I'd made some wiring errors, and it didn't work, so it just sat on the shelf for years. And I didn't get around to looking at it and fixing it until after I'd graduated from college and started working in the Portland, Maine area for Fairchild. But I did get around to it, cleaned up the wiring, found my error. The original transistors were long gone, so I put in a couple general purpose germaniums and got it working. Used germanium PNPs back in that time frame, the mid-60s. And that same Christmas, there was a mystery box under the tree that was addressed to me, and it was full of vacuum tubes. And it was a mistake, actually. My grandparents and my parents had the same model of TV. It was a Dumont 21-inch TV, black and white, of course. And my grandparents had upgraded to a newer model, and my grandfather had pulled out all the tubes and saved them for my parents for spares for ours. And I think mistakenly, it got wrapped as a Christmas gift for me, and I was really happy with it. Gosh, my own tube collection, you know. And so they didn't have the heart to take it away from me, and I think probably some of those tubes are still rattling around in my tube stash. Although I wouldn't be able to identify them. I know there was a couple 5U4s and 12AU7s, 6BQ6, and others. So that was a memorable gift, and I can't remember if I got anything else radio related for Christmas that I didn't buy for myself. I may have. You know, Bruce W1UJR has given me lots of stuff over the years, and one of them might have been a Christmas gift. But he's a real thoughtful, giving guy, so he's given me lots of stuff, kits, and so on. And one year, I'm not sure if it was a Christmas gift, I don't remember, but I think it was 2008 or so, I gave him, I built for him a period regenerative receiver with, you know, a regenerative detector and 2 stages of transformer coupled audio with old parts, all using UX201A tubes, and built it on a backlight base with a backlight panel, and presented that to Bruce. But like I say, I don't remember if it was a Christmas gift. I know it was in the wintertime when I gave it to him. And when I built it in the late fall of 2007 or 2008. So anyway, that's my story, and back to net. WA1QIX and the Lonely Guys, NE1S.
Yeah, that's really excellent. That's really excellent, Larry. NE1S, WA1QIX, and the Lonely Guys. And very funny about the tubes. That's that's funny. That just is just plain funny. I wonder if those old transistors. I remember some numbers from back then. There was a CK722, and I think the 2N107 and 2N170 were around back then, because I built an electronic organ back then for a music project in junior high school. From the boys' third book of radio and electronics, actually, and I used those old, you know, germanium transistors. It's very interesting stuff. Anyway, good to hear you, Larry, and Merry Christmas to you and Elaine, and we'll get together before I go anywhere for sure. Absolutely want to do that. So that's on the. That's on the agenda. So thanks for getting in here, of course, as you do so often. And it'd be interesting. You still have some of those old tubes lying around. You probably do. I know I have tubes that I collected back in the 60s, and I still have them. All right, let's see. Let's grab Paul there in Whitman, and then Stess in Milford, Maine. W1GTX, and then Joe in Stonington. W1GTX. Go ahead, Paul.
Oh, good morning, Steve, and everybody else on the net. Merry Christmas. I gotta make sure I say it on this one. And I think I forgot on the Milrad net, but hey, it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, well, I never really got radio stuff for Christmas because I didn't get into the hobby till later. I think my wife bought me a small little cheap 2-meter rig once because it said what I wanted. And I think that was about it for that one. But let's see. Yeah, no, Christmas, kids are getting excited. I said earlier, the little one, Jason, he's coming up on 5, so he's going to be super excited for Santa to come visit. I think he's going to bring him might be an Alexa thing. So I said, I should drop it off with Steve QIX and have him recode it and make it extra special for him. My wife's like, what? So I thought that was funny. So other than that, I gotta move it along. I gotta get upstairs. She gotta start cleaning for Christmas Eve. That everyone's coming over tomorrow and do that. So I'll send my 7.3s. I'll be back here next week. Everybody have a good Christmas and be safe. So WA1QIX and the Lonely Guys. This is W1GTX.
Yeah, W1GTX, very fine, Paul. WA1QIX, Lonely Guys. That's funny. Yeah, your wife was like, what? I know, I don't know anything about that. I know, it's like they're not supposed to know. Well, not usually. Well, good to hear you, Paul, and thanks for getting in here. And a very Merry Christmas to you and your family as well. And enjoy the little ones while they're still little. And we'll look for you next week, hopefully. And again, thanks for getting in here and being part of the net. All right, let's pick up Stess, K1WXY. Go ahead, Stess.
KC2 DMC.